On Global TV News tonight, President Tinubu to meet UAE authorities during stopover in Abu Dhabi. Vice President Shettima says Borno lost over $6 billion to Boko Haram insurgency. Plus, Biden says no plan to contain China. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I'm Wiyag Mofwebe. President Bola Tinubu will meet with the leadership of United Arab Emirates, UAE, during a technical stopover in Abu Dhabi after the president's departure from New Delhi, India. This was contained in a statement signed by Ajuri Ngalali, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity. Ajuri stated that the meeting will serve as a follow-up discussion to address specific salient issues within the bilateral relations after conversations held during a recent visit by the UAE ambassador to the president at the State House in Abuja. President Tinubu is to address lingering bilateral issues while maximizing the opportunity of the stopover to advance his investment promotion objectives with high-level authorities in the public and private sectors of the United Arab Emirates. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu had on Saturday in New Delhi, India, expressed Nigeria's commitment to play a major role within the G20 and contribute to shaping a more equitable world. Addressing world leaders at the 18th G20 Leaders Summit, the Nigerian leader called for global unity and cooperation in tackling pressing challenges, fostering inclusiveness, and establishing a fairer world order. While acknowledging the vital role of the G20 in shaping a rules-based world order that promotes shared prosperity and security, President Tinubu emphasized that most of today's pressing issues are international in character and cannot be addressed without multilateral cooperation. Kekelamo Okere tells us more.
The Nigerian leader congratulated India for hosting the historic summit for successfully landing on the moon under the visionary leader of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He described the achievement as an inspiration to all developing countries of Global South. On the issue of African Union inclusion in G20, the Nigerian leader welcomed the decision, saying it opens opportunity for future membership of the group and in a manner that reflects the relative balance of power and inclusiveness of humanity as one family. Reflecting on the theme of the summit, One Earth, One Family, One Future, President Tinubu stressed the interconnectedness of global affairs and the need for collaborative effort. He underscores the importance of tackling challenges related to technology, energy transition, and access to credit, as well as growing socio-economic divide between those who have and those who do not. President, however, urged greater solidarity among nations, tasking advanced economy to support disadvantaged regions in the Global South and to promote climate justice. Kekelamo Okere, Global Television News.
Vice President Kashif Shettima on Saturday said a post-insurgency assessment in the northeast showed that attacks by Boko Haram cost the region $9 billion, out of which Borno State, the epicenter of the insurgency, lost $6.8 billion. Speaking in Maiduguri, Borno State capital, when he flagged off palliative distribution for states in the region by the Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, VP Shettima, a former governor of the state, lamented how several emirs were displaced without any emirates to govern. The initiative by the NEDC was part of its efforts to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal on people in the region. Shettima, who also declared the 8th Northeast Governors Forum meeting open at the Borno State Government House, Maiduguri, said the NEDC was fulfilling its mandate of rehabilitating and resettling victims of the insurgency. The Nigerian government has said it will digitize the country's healthcare system to achieve better health outcomes. Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Tunji Alausa, while speaking at the press briefing on the ministry's agenda for the sector, said digitizing the health system will help facilitate accurate data to promote activities in the sector. Alausa said the health system requires accurate and valid data that can be trusted locally and internationally. He said as part of the digitization process, government will roll out a national electronic medical record where all primary health centers, PHCs, and hospitals can be on the same platform. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare noted that there are many issues in the health sector including leadership problems, which can be addressed when all stakeholders work in unison. Imo State National and State House of Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal has sacked a member of the House of Representatives, Ikenga Ogochiere, who was elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. In a unanimous decision on Sunday, a three-member panel of the tribunal, which conducted its proceedings in Nasarawa State, held that Ogochiere was not validly nominated by the PDP to contest the Idi-Ato North, Idi-Ato South federal constituency election that held on February 25. Consequently, it ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to within 90 days conduct a supplementary election in the constituency. The tribunal, in its lead judgment that was delivered by its chairman, Justice Anthony Olotu Akbovi, specifically directed the electoral body to conduct the supplementary poll in 55 polling units where elections did not hold on February 25. A former head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar, has told the current administration of President Bola Tinubu that Nigerians need change to happen quickly. The former head of state said this when the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, paid him a courtesy visit, and another former head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, on Sunday. The minister noted that the fatherly role they provided for Nigeria over the years will continue to be appreciated. He also informed them of the resolve of President Tinubu to return Nigeria to its path of glory. Abdulsalami congratulated President Tinubu's administration for clocking 100 days in office and the minister on his appointment. Let's turn to the foreign scene now, where French President Emmanuel Macron has told a news conference at the close of a two-day summit of G20 leaders on Sunday in India that France would only redeploy its troops in coordination with President Mohamed Bazoum.
Since last July, a coup d'etat has been holding a democratically elected president hostage. France's position is simple. We condemn it. We call for the release of President Bazoum and the restoration of constitutional order. And we do not recognize the legitimacy of the putschist declarations since President Bazoum has not relinquished power. And so, if we redeploy anything, I would only do so at President Bazoum's request and in coordination with him, not with officials who today are taking the president hostage. On this subject, from day one, France has been coordinating with all the presidents of the region and the heads of state and government, and we fully support the positions of ECOWAS.
Relations with France, Niger's former colonial power, degraded after Paris stood by ousted President Mohamed Bazoum following the July coup. The Sahel state is also embroiled in a standoff with the West African bloc ECOWAS, which has threatened to intervene militarily if diplomatic pressure to return Bazoum to office fails. You're watching Global TV News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the news returns, Nigeria Customs raised the alarm over increased smuggling. We'll tell you more about this and bring you other stories right after this short break. Do stay with us. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the news from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. United States President Joe Biden has reaffirmed his commitment to the long-standing relations between the country and Nigeria. This was contained in a statement released by the White House following Biden's encounter with President Bola Tinubu at the G20 summit in New Delhi, India on Sunday, stating that President Biden welcomed the Tinubu administration's steps to reform Nigeria's economy. The U.S. president also seized the opportunity to thank President Tinubu for his strong leadership as the chair of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to defend and preserve democracy and the rule of law in Niger and the broader region. Biden noted that Nigeria's invitation to the G20 summit is a recognition of the country's important global role as Africa's largest democracy and economy. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden has insisted on Sunday that he does not want to contain China as the two powers face deepening divisions on trade, security, and rights. Biden said he had met Chinese Premier Li Qiang at the G20 summit in New Delhi, a meeting the White House had not announced, and discussed stability. The president reviewed the encounter in Hanoi, Vietnam, where earlier in the day he had agreed to a deal to deepen ties with Vietnam as Washington looks to bolster its network of allies around Asia and the Pacific in the face of Beijing's rising influence. Washington and Beijing are at loggerheads on a range of global issues, and Biden accused China of seeking to bend the international order to its will. Chinese President Xi Jinping skipped the G20 as Beijing and Delhi tussle over territorial and other issues. And back home in Nigeria, the Association of Bureaus of Exchange Operators of Nigeria, APCON, has called on the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to grant operators digital autonomy to achieve exchange rate convergence. APCON President Aminu Gwadabe, who made the call in a report released on Sunday, urged the Apex Bank to grant a no objection approval for the BDCs to go digital on all their operational correspondences entirely. He said the move would bring about rate convergence, curb volatility in the markets, and promote economic growth, adding that APCON had in the past led its members to achieve rate convergence in 2006-2009, as well as 2018 to 2020 before the outbreak of COVID-19 3 years ago. He said granting digital autonomy to the operators will lead to a true market rate discovery, enhance the achievement of the federal government's harmonized foreign exchange rate policies, and promote effective monitoring of BDC transactions for statutory and regulatory requirements. He said aside from employing over 40,000 people within the sector, digital autonomy for operators will usher in transparency, accountability, and ease of supervision. The Acting Controller General of Nigeria Customs Service, CG Bashiru Adeniyi, says information at his disposal shows that there is an increase in smuggling of rice and hard drugs across some borders in the country. The customs boss warned that such smuggling must be curtailed to safeguard the country. CG Adeniyi made the statement during an interactive session with officers and men of the Federal Operations Unit, Zone B, during a working visit to Kaduna. He warned that there is a need to effectively police the country's border with Niger Republic, warning that nothing should cross on either side as the sanction by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is still in place. He emphasized that the authority of ECOWAS has not changed its position regarding the closure of the border with Niger Republic. Let's talk some sports now. Invited professional African footballers have arrived to their respective countries for the last group matches in the 2024 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. In Nigeria, three-time African champions, the Super Eagles, topping Group A with 12 points, will confronted bottom place Tommy and Principe at the Gospel Akpabio National Stadium in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State's capital. And we're now hearing that that match ended 6-0 in favor of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Sean Strickland has defeated Israel Adesanya to become the new UFC middleweight champion of the world, with all judges scoring the fight in his favor at the Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney, Australia. A first-round knockdown by the American was the highlight of the fight that went the whole 5 rounds. All 3 judges scored the fight 49-46 for the American and new middleweight world champion Strickland. He did it with non-stop pressure and steady upright boxing and never once attempting a grapple. This is his 3rd loss, bringing his record to 24-3 now, while Strickland improves to 28-5. American teenager Coco Gauff came from behind to win the U.S. Open on Saturday, clinching her first Grand Slam title with a battling win over Arina Sabalenka of Belarus. Gauff, 19, produced a gutsy performance on the Arthur Ashe Stadium courts to win 2-6, 6-3, 2-6 in 2 hours, 6 minutes to complete a fairy tale transformation in her season's fortunes. The win completed a remarkable turnaround for Gauff, who was left distraught after a first-round exit at Wimbledon in July. However, she bounced back to win titles in Washington and Cincinnati and has now landed the biggest win of her career after a shattering loss at the French Open last year. As we end the news here on Global Television, a quick look at some of our top stories. President Tinubu has been scheduled to meet UAE authorities during stopover in Abu Dhabi. Vice President Shettima has said Borno State lost over $6 billion to Boko Haram insurgency. We also told you Biden says no plan to contain China. And that's it on Global TV News. It came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyi Agumofwebe, thanking you very specially for watching. I'll see you again.
This could be the most important minute of your day.
We have been through difficult times
and face big problems ahead.
But
every crisis contains both danger and opportunity.
You can play your part.
Right now.
Right now.
Please close your eyes.
Imagine the better future we could have.
Imagine that future.
What does it look like for you?
For the people you love.
How do we lift each other up
and make it fair?
How do we protect nature
and save our shared homes? Picture that future you want.
Now open your eyes.
It's time to talk about the future we want.
Because of the things I did. That's why I asked for forgiveness from her.
Hello, William, where's William? William.
And that's my daughter way back. Christine.
Okay.
She was too. I feel something about you, yeah? At least I know that I'm hearing things from other people. You know what I mean? Just be straight out and honest, open. I know I messed up bare times. I wronged you in a lot of ways way back. And I apologize for that. I'm sorry. You should forgive me for that.
Okay, like... to say the truth, I am married. I've been married for a year. Yes, a year now. It's not that I was really into it, but the situation that I was passing through.
And I'm the cause of everything, yeah? Put the blame on myself, you know what I mean? Because I messed up big time. And on that one, I admit. You shake. And I respect your decisions. I respect. But you're happy now, yeah? You're happy with the same man you're with? You're trying.
Yeah, you're right.
Nah, just keep on.
I'm happy that you know my feelings. You know my feelings towards you. Now, can I ask you a question? Do you think we're meant to be?
Despite the
Am I
situation,
the right woman for you?
I don't on your side.
I'm asking you.
Blood.
Am I your rib?
Stop confusing me.
I'm not confusing you. But I have to make another decision. Again, maybe when you come out, I don't know, I'm confused.